Good evening, everyone. Yuvraj here. I just have been working in this industry for the past 4 or 5 months now, and I just want to share my experience with you working as a loan originator. The first pro is compensation, second is flexible hours, third is experience. So in terms of compensation, is you get paid lender paid or you get paid borrower paid. So if you get a lead who wants a very good interest rate, you can always offer them the borrower paid option. But if they don't really mind, the getting that good of an interest rate, but since right now interest rates are still very, very low, they always have the lender paid option. So that's like something great for us, that in a way that you have a borrower paid or lender paid option. Even if the borrower does not want to deal with it, you can always offer them just a lender paid scenario. They don't like to be charged because technically loan loan originators get compensated a lot. So based on that, they try to avoid that. So we try to push. We don't really push it, but it's just we highly suggest them more just a lender paid option because it works better for them. The second thing would be flexible hours. So I think flexible hours is great as long as you get the job done. If you're self-employed, especially because if you're self-employed, then you can work on your own hours. You can work on the leads, work on the pipeline, work on the conditions, and as long as everything is being done and being communicated specifically in your own perspective, then you're good. Of course this does not apply to everyone. It's usually more towards a self-employed, self-starters kind of thing. In terms of the people who are actually working with the lenders, who actually work under them, who are actually wage earners and not self-employed, for them, even if they get that, then it gets a bit different, because I still believe the compensation to be very well, but I'm guessing the lenders keep some cut of it a bit on however the contract is set up. But all in all, the flexible hours is very, very great. Like during COVID, since I work in our family business, our family unfortunately got COVID so late now, and I myself got fortunately I was okay, but I decided not to go to the office because we are a family business, and we have been working away now. So I've been working from here, and the flexible hours really help because sometimes I wake up a bit late, but it helps me since I'm still getting the job done, everything that needs to be done. I'm trying to get new leads if I can, even though sometimes it's gonna be tough, especially as new loan originators. I haven't got that many leads, to be honest, but since my family has been doing this business for the past 20-30 years, that really helps because the leads are coming in, even though they have the expectation from me, hey, you need to be bringing leads, you need to be doing this and that. It can be tough because people these days, they like going directly to the bank, to be honest. They like doing that, but you just need to explain to them that that these days banks are slow, they're very busy, and we actually work with multiple lenders. So you give us a shot, let us run a scenario, and if you like us, go with us. No harm. The third thing that I wanted to discuss as a pro was experience. The experience that you're gonna gain here is gonna be so much great. You're gonna be working with so many great people. You're gonna be working with realtors, investors, escrow, appraisers, title companies, notaries, so many different people. And the leads that you're gonna bring, you're gonna get to know so many people that you are gonna have so many assets that in the future, whenever you're gonna need someone, because you help them, actually get their home, and you can always have that with you. You can have that experience, you can have those people with you. They will be there for you, and having connections with those kind of people is very important in our industry. It's very important. It's very, very important because that's how you'll get leads. The other day, I was talking to a gentleman whose loan we're doing, and I was trying to, and I had not, to be honest, I've only got one lead. Before that, everything was coming in from our company, from my dad's side, so we were just pulling on, and I was just working on the file. But so this gentleman did not have the required funds, but had family to gift funds from him. So he gave me the contacts of two of his brothers who was interested. So I contacted both of them in terms of seeing, hey, if you can gift provide gift funds to this gentleman. So both of them agreed and stuff, and they just started asking. One decided asking about a new purchase, one decided asking about a refinance. So you see, it's just easy. You've got clients right there. Yeah, I mean, sometimes they're courtly, sometimes they're not. You can always follow up in the future. So this is like a mini way of how you can build this networks and so this experience. So these were a few pros, like compensation, flexible hours, experience. Now let's get to the cons. First con is you get paid only when you close a file. Sometimes a file is, you're working a file, everything is going great. With a file, you get conditions. With every file you submit, you get 10 conditions, you get 20 conditions. You say you got 19 conditions, everything's good, but you have this one thing that's left. And you're trying to understand, hey, what is this? This is not what I learned in education, that I have to work on conditions, all this other stuff. And if you don't do this condition, your file is dead and you don't get the money. You don't make anything. So it's very important that you actually work on these conditions and stuff, and making sure, like a huge point that I will give you is to work on the Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae guidelines. That's very helpful because that's what these lenders follow pretty much. So if you understand that, if you learn that properly, that will really help you. It's always good to have that on set, you guys. So that's a major con in terms of, you only get paid when you close a file. Like if you can't meet the condition for a file, it's pretty much the file is dead. So you need to make sure that you go over the guidelines. The third con is that it's a major one. I have dealt with this a lot. So this job can be stressful. It can be stressful because you have to work on generating new leads. You have to work on taking calls. You have to work on working on current files. You have to work on the current files conditions. And sometimes you just lose track. You lose track. Hey, I was just working on this new lead, and suddenly, I forgot. Shit, I had to actually do the conditions on this file. Oh, but I forgot I had to do a call to this person regarding this file, this refinance. Oh wait, did we actually contact appraisers? Wait, did that file actually close? So you see that sometimes it's too much. It can happen. Even myself, as coming from an IT industry, I have been very good in multitasking, but working with family, I'm saying, they don't think me to be as good at multitasking, but I'm becoming good now. But I thought I was very good because I used to manage a few offices and of IT, and this is like a huge different change in what I'm doing now. But to be honest, so that's a major con. It can be stressful in terms of multitasking at times, handling different things. When I started, I wanted to make everything so organized, but I just could not. I tried using Asana IT to try and organize everything. Oh, this is the first step, this is the second step, this is the third thing, this is the fourth thing, this is the fifth thing. It doesn't help. Something very good thing that we use at our company is like a small Google Drive. We use like a file tracker to see what files we're working on and what's in processing. So that sort of helps, to keep a track of what files we're currently working on, the status of it, so the entire company knows what's going on. So that was another con. I guess the last one will be, if you work for a lender, technically you don't get all the commission because the commission is probably shared with somebody from the depends on the contract, because could be like the lender keeps some of it, or whoever you're working on keeps some of it. That could be a major con as well. The flexible hours, the compensation, it applies there more so for self-employed than does for people who are actually under contract. So that's another con. So all in all, these are the pros and these are the cons. In terms of compensation, flexible hours, the experience. The cons are, you get only paid when you close a file. If you can't close a condition on a file, the file is pretty much dead, and then you have to find a new lead, or somehow just figure it out and get the condition cleared. But of course, making sure you're doing the right thing, and that's what's required a lot. Stressful at times, that's another thing. And just if you're working for a lender or whoever you're working for, sometimes they can keep some of the commission. So guys, these are the quick pros and cons I just wanted to share. And this actually came from an idea from one of our viewers who actually commented on the YouTube video of mine. I never thought I'd be actually making a follow-up video, but I hope this helps someone, and if it does, please like and mention some things in the comments, and I really hope this helps you with this. Thank you so much for watching.